On SME On Point this week, as we wrap up the Green Business series that we've been running for the month of September, we feature Peo Impact Gardens, a not-for-profit organization that creates organic vegetable gardens in disadvantaged township schools to supplement the National School Feeding Program. Take a look at what they do. Although she has never really had green fingers, Riachile Musaka says through Peo Impact Gardens, she wanted to bring back the past when neighbors in the township would grow their own fruit and vegetables and then barter. She and her sister took the concept further with Peo Impact Gardens by planting vegetables at schools to promote healthy eating. The National School Nutrition Program is the government's program that provides one nutritious meal to all learners in poorer primary and secondary schools. The objective is to provide nutritious meals to learners so as to improve their ability to learn.
We actually have these teaching gardens for our children, and we introduce them to the gardens so that they know where food comes from, and what they learn here they can take home, encourage their parents to also plant smaller gardens at home and start having healthy meals. So we work with Department of Agriculture, and because the government has the school's food nutrition program, and they bring over whatever food that they give to schools and to the entire program, we found that these meals are mainly starches and soya, so they're not balanced meals. So what these gardens further on bring is the surplus that comes from, or rather not even the surplus, the produce that comes from here is being sent to the school kitchens, and it sort of augments, and it just balances what the children eat from on a daily basis.
Musaka says the teaching gardens have impacted not only on the children in a positive way, but also on the unemployed women in the community who serve as volunteers. Working here is not only providing them with farming skills, but also food on the table as well.
Most of them are people that live within the area. Their children come to the schools here. So now they look after the gardens. They plant, and every single day they come here. And when we get good sponsors and funders, because at the end of the day, they work, they give of themselves. It's a passion for them, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's good to give a stipend of sorts. So there are different service providers and people that come that are good to us, who donate certain things, and some even donate money so that we can pay these ladies at the end of the day.
Although there is a lot of buy-in from the community, but Peo Impact Gardens is not exempt from challenges that many other businesses also face.
Pests are the biggest issue. I mean, when you look at a garden like this, it attracts all types of birds, it attracts rats, and when you do look at our environment, there's a lot of dumping that takes place, and that leads to different elements, that bring diseases and all those type of things into. But it's that, as well as things like load shedding. There's no water, and communities are switched off because because of non-payment. But now we need water. And that is one of the biggest challenges that we do have.
Musaka hopes to inspire more people to consider starting their backyard vegetable gardens, including the community in those projects. She says this will help lead to healthier communities who will spend less at a time of economic hardships like the present. Liabo Setho, SABC News, Johannesburg. We truly loved the work of Peo Impact Gardens. They've been our last contributor to our series of looking at green businesses. If you do go to our Facebook page, which is at SME On Point, you'll see what we've been doing since the beginning of the month, some of the awesome green businesses that we've been able to feature and those that we've been able to speak to. But it doesn't end there. In keeping with the Green Sustainable Businesses theme for the month, about 1.2 million tons of paper and paper packaging is diverted from landfills. An alarming amount cannot be recycled because it has been contaminated by foods, liquids and other waste. The Fiber Circle believes this is an issue which has to be urgently addressed through collaboration and cooperation across related sectors, as well as government and other affected parties. Edith Lu Maluta is the CEO of Fiber Circle, and she joins us online here on SME On Point to tell us more about what they do. Thank you so much for joining us on SME On Point. You had a colloquium yesterday talking about everything that has to do with paper and waste recycling. Give us some of the most salient points that you touched on, particularly those that have to do with the role that small and medium enterprises can play. Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me, and good afternoon to the viewers. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, yesterday we had our colloquium with industry colleagues, organizations who are in the paper and paper manufacturing industry. We had key public sector stakeholders such as the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, colleagues from Pick It Up. And the purpose of our conversation was really to start speaking together around what good may look like from a South African perspective when we're talking about sustainable waste management. What is true is that we all have a role to play in preserving our fauna and flora. It being September and Environmental Month, it was important for us to reiterate our commitment to collecting and ensuring that paper goes where it belongs. Paper belongs in a mill. However, in South Africa, one of our key challenges is that we do not separate our waste at home. So everything goes into one bin, and that practice is simply not sustainable. What we need to be doing as South Africans going forward, because we don't have time, we have fast diminishing landfill airspace. So it's important for us to reduce, reuse, and recycle as much as we possibly can. So when I say that it's important that we separate our waste at home, what we are talking about there is that the packaging that your food comes in does not need to be included when you are, let's say you're cooking at home.
Okay.
So you need to separate your food from your packaging so that we can use the packaging back into the recycling process. When paper is soiled with, let's say, pap, gravy, and chicken bones, it is unfortunately not usable in our environment anymore. And so it's very important that we share the message that says that we each have a responsibility to play. The waste that we produce today will be waste that future generations will have to deal with.
Yes.
And it's not fair that future generations will have to deal with the waste that we produce today.
Yeah.
So the simple act of just separating your waste at home will go a long way in promoting the circular economy.
Right.
The circular economy is an economy that...
Sorry to disturb you, but here on SME On Point, we are more concerned about how businesses can, or how people can start businesses around waste recycling and paper recycling. At the colloquium, were there any ideas that came up with regards to how people can start small businesses at the same time contributing to the recycling and a cleaner planet and environment? People who do it very, very well are some of the waste collectors that have become so much part of our lives. And I've seen them every morning, how they take care of sorting out the plastic, the glass, the paper from our waste where we live in our households. What business opportunities are there for our viewers?
There is opportunity in waste. Every cardboard that you see, every milk carton that you see, there's value attached to it. So, you know, we have quite a number of SMMEs that we do support at Fiber Circle. It's easy. I don't want to say it's easy to start your business, but it is doable to start your business. And the collections business in South Africa is one that we've been collecting paper and paper packaging in South Africa for over 90 years. We are one of the leading countries when it comes to paper and paper recycling in the country. Our recycling ratios for percentages for paper are well in the 60s and 70s. Starting your own business in the recycling space requires you to know what is recyclable and what is not recyclable.
Yeah.
We have buyback centers around the country. My friends and I can start a business today, and the business could be engaging with the schools that your children go to, looking at how you can collect the end of the year books that can go back into the recycling process. Recycling paper is a matter of collecting paper and understanding what type of paper you can collect. There are a number of great examples of businesses that have succeeded in the recycling space.
Yeah, that's beautiful to know. But I've also learned that once a person goes into recycling, there's a very, very thin and very small chance, or big chance rather, that people also turn into hoarders, which is, I'm sure, something that we don't encourage, because a lot of people, they do take whatever they come across, they take it, put it in their yard, and it ends up piling up without going to where it needs to go, which is one thing I think that our viewers should also be guarding against. Edith Luther is a CEO at Fiber Circle. Thank you so much for giving us your insights of what transpired at the colloquium yesterday, and also on the kind of opportunities that are available for small and medium enterprise, those that are aspiring and those that are in the business. You've been watching SME on Point, our regular Friday SME feature. And this is all we have for you for this week. We'll be back again next week. But don't go away. I'll have more news for you after this. And remember to support small businesses in your communities. Keep those rands and cents circulating.